my name is Sunday, my pronouns are they, them, and welcome to another video. I've been really busy these last few months, September and October especially. I've been picking up the camera every so often with the intention of starting a vlog or recording a process video, and nothing's really stuck. So this is a compilation of moments in and around the studio from August, September, and October. And I figured I'd take this time to update you all on what I've been doing and how I've been feeling. Back during the summer, I made a declaration that I would be applying to go back to school to get my MFA. I recognize that art school and graduate programs aren't for everyone, but this is what's best for me and my career right now. But last month, it did take a little bit of a backseat because of some other opportunities that presented themselves, and I'm really happy with where I am with most of that. Leading up to this, August and September were really hard for me because I was having a flare-up with my chronic illness, so much so that some days it even hurt to hold a pencil, and the slightest bit of touch or sound would give me an instant headache. I finally came out of that toward the second half of September and started back painting and trying to get back into a regular studio practice. I had a story sale since I wasn't able to participate in the events that I'd originally planned on, and the story sale went really well. I've been doing story sales consistently for almost a year now, and I think I've found a formula that works for me and my audience. I packed about 17 orders and over 40 items, and it took me about 2.5 days. I'm always really grateful when I make a sale. There's something so special about using my work to connect with others from so many walks of life. I actually got a notification not too long ago from the shipping service that I use, and I found out that my work has traveled over 2,800 miles this year, and that's kind of unbelievable. Out of genuine curiosity, I took a look at a map and found out that's further away than San Francisco, which is about 2,500 miles, Greenland, which is about 2,700 miles, and Ecuador, which is about 2,600 miles away. And I'm just here, one person on this floating rock in space, making work from my home in my little studio outside of my hometown of Atlanta, Georgia, and my work has traveled so far this year. It's like little pieces of my heart all across the world, and it just makes me wonder how far it will continue to go, and how far I'll continue to go. It's just a reminder that I'm so much bigger than the work. Like, I can exist without the work, but the work can't exist without me. And if you take nothing else from this video, please let it be this. You are so much bigger than the work. Most of October, I've been booked and busy, which I'm always really grateful for. And I've been doing this delicate balance of working and resting and trying to make sure that I don't burn out and that I also don't injure myself. I started the month of October off at the Atlanta Pride Festival. I was a vendor in the official artist market, and I had so much fun. It was a 2-day market, and it was my first time doing a 2-day market too. And I was so busy working and prepping and printing for this event that I actually didn't pick up the camera around this time at all. I filmed a little bit of me packing prints and a little bit of the parade, and I think I got one picture of my booth, but it was an amazing weekend, and I hope that I get invited back next year. and one day I hope to be able to return as an exhibitor. The following week, I was exhausted from the market and it took me almost 2 full days to decompress. During that week, I finished 2 paintings that I've been working on, one of SZA and another of Brandy from Cinderella, and I was able to make prints of them both too. My next market was a week later with the National Black Arts Festival celebration under the stars, and that was a fun time. I didn't make my vendor feedback, but I heard that other vendors didn't either. And there were a lot of circumstances out of my control that I think contributed to that, one of which was the weather. It got so cold once the sun went down, but I had such a fun night with my partner who's been so supportive these last few weeks with clearing their weekend, driving me back and forth into the city, making sure that I stayed hydrated and fed, and just in general being an incredible person. I don't often let people into this part of my life. It's really personal to me, but they have consistently shown enthusiastic interest in everything I do, even if they don't understand it. It's a new experience to date someone who genuinely supports my success with such openness and unwavering encouragement. They are so supportive and one of my biggest fans, and I'm really grateful for that. I hope that everyone gets the chance to feel as loved and cared for and supported in their passions as I do. I plan on spending the rest of October finishing up a freelance project for a traveling clinic in Southwest Georgia that I've been working on in the background for most of the month and preparing to close out the year. I don't have any plans to participate in any markets or festivals in November. I really want to make sure that I'm focusing on finishing my applications for graduate school and preparing for the Spectacular Black Girl Art Show in December. Side note, I got into the Spectacular Black Girl Art Show and I'm really excited. Like, if you put really in all caps, that'll almost be able to convey how excited I am. This will be my first year participating and I found out last week, and I haven't looked at my goals since I made that video in mid-March, but I know that this was one that I had for this year, and this has also been one that I've had for a really long time in general. I'm really excited to be able to share my work and be in this space with so many other Black women artists and hopefully make some good sales and connections. I would also especially love to sell some originals. So a little bit about this painting that I'm working on. For background, in addition to being an artist, I'm also a trained librarian and archivist, and for the past 2 years, I've been organizing and cataloging my maternal grandmother's papers. I'm currently working on a short series inspired by some of those photos, and for a long time, I was really drawn to the specific collection of photos of my grandparents in their home in Japan in the 1950s. My grandfather was a mechanic and was also in the Air Force, and he lived with my grandmother in Japan from the late 50s up until 1961 when they returned to the States for the birth of my mother. I conceptualized this diptych back in June or July, and I started working on it in September, but I had to take a break to focus on some other work. I've gotten pretty far in the portrait of my grandmother, and I've already gotten the sketch transferred and the first wash done of the portrait of my grandfather. I was a little hesitant to start both of these because I was really afraid I was going to mess up because I didn't want to waste paper or materials or even time. I tend to put a lot of pressure on myself to get it right the first time, which gives me a lot of anxiety when starting new pieces. But I've learned there's never really a way around it. You just have to push through, and I did, and I'm really proud of myself because I'm really happy with how these paintings are coming out. And that about wraps up the video. I really enjoyed this format of stitching clips together and adding my reflections through a voiceover. Let me know what you think, because I would definitely do this again. I'd also love to hear about how you've been and any exciting plans that you have for the rest of the year, whether art related or not. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.